Okay.
Since I was a kid, I've always wanted a horse barn. And now I've started lessons at Stone Ledge Farm, and I realize it's a lot of work. Today I'm going to show you how to groom and saddle a horse. For grooming, you're going to need a curry comb, a hard brush, a soft brush, and a brush. First, you're going to want to start with the curry comb. So what the curry comb does is you put it in circles in the direction of the horse's fur, and it just picks up all the dirt, all the extra, anything that you need. And you don't want to do it like right here because that's where their bone is, and that could hurt them possibly. So you really want to get all over their body, and you really want to get right under their stomachs because this is where the girth is going to go. And if that spot isn't clean, the girth can rub up against it, and it's going to give them sores. Next, you're going to want to use your hard brush, and you're going to want to just flick your wrist all the way down the horse's body. And that's just getting all of the dirt that you just picked up from the curry comb. You're going to just flick it off get as much off as you can. Next, you're going to want to use your soft brush. And in your soft brush, you can also do her face. And this is Fluffy, by the way. So you just want to go out around the outlines of their face and all the way down their body again. This is kind of like a double check, just to make sure that you've gotten everything so that none of the pads or any of the brushes or any of the bridle or anything won't rub up against it and give her sores. Next, you're going to want to use the comb. Come on inside. And what you want to do with the comb is you want to grab at the top and brush just this part right here, because if you brush it just like that, it's going to pull out their mane. So you want to grab at the top like you would be brushing your own hair. Then you're also going to want to do that with the forelock, just like this. And then you're going to want to do the tail. So when you're going to do the tail, she has the sock on because her tail is so long, it just kind of protects it. So you kind of just want to do the same thing and just brush down like this. And that's all pretty much you're going to need to do for grooming. If you want to, you can rub a towel down her body just to get everything off that you need. Next, you're going to want to use saddle pads. Come over here. And whenever you bridle or whenever you saddle a horse, you're always going to want to use a blue pad. And when you go to bridle or when you go to saddle, you see these words right here. That's going to be on the left side of the horse. So you want to take the other side and you flip it over. And you always want to start saddling on the left side of the horse. Now there's 3 different types of other pads that you can use. You can use a riser, a gel pad, or a fleece. It kind of depends on how bad their back is. Fluffy's isn't that bad, but it needs a little bit more support. So you're going to want to just put it on like that. You want to make sure that this right here is facing forward. Next, you're going to want to put on the saddle. Now there's a lot of different types of saddles. There is a saddle seat saddle for her today because she's a saddle seat horse. So you're going to want to grab it so that this part is facing up. You just want to take it, put it right over her back. Just like that. You want to secure it, and you want the pads to be about right here. There's going to be a little bone right here, and you want it to fit right on there. Next, you're going to want to use the martingale. In this, eventually, the reins are going to go through this hole right here, and it's going to hook onto the bridle, and it's going to help her headset and help connect to the horse. So what you want to do is you want to find this part in it, and so it's going to want to face like this. So you're going to unhook the side, reach around her neck, and come back around and clip it like that. So then you should be able to go like that. Next, you're going to want to use a girth. Now, if you're using a saddle seat saddle like I'm using now, you're going to want a girth that looks like this. It's going to be white. It's going to be a little bit shorter than the hunt seat saddles. Now, if you're riding in a hunt seat saddle, you're going to want a brown girth like this. That basically, it's a lot longer so that it'll reach, and it helps obviously keep the saddle on. So I'm riding saddle seat, so I'm going to use this girth. And there's a bunch of different sizes on here. As you can see, this one is a 44. And it kind of depends on how big your horse is. Usually horses would range between a 42 and a 44. So next what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hook it on this one, the first and third. So you're going to take your first one right here, and you're going to hook it on the first hole. You don't want to go up until you know how it's going to fit. You're going to do the same thing on the third side. Now you're going to go on the other side. And what you're going to do is you're going to reach under, grab the martingale, pull it through so that the loop is in between her legs, grab the girth, grab the straps, and pull it through the hole in the martingale. You're going to want to pull it up like this. Now you can put it on the third and the first again, but you can put it up probably on the third hole would be the best. So you're going to want to put it in the third hole, and you're going to want to put it on the third hole. So now you're going to want to just adjust it on both sides until it is as tight as it will go. And the horses don't usually like this part because it's kind of pushing onto their stomachs. So you want to get it as tight as you can get it, and you have your girth. You want to make sure that your martingale is kind of in the middle and that it's facing like this. Next, you're going to want to start to bridle your horse. So the first thing that you're going to need when you bridle a horse is reins. This will hook up to the bridle, and you hold on to it so you can steer, stop the horse. So you're going to want to fling it around their neck. And you're also, when I ride, I also use a smaller rein, which is called a curb rein. And basically, it's just a little better when you go into shows, and it helps their head set more and make them look prettier. So you want to take the smallest rein and put it through the loop in the martingale. Then you're going to want to go on the other side, take the smaller rein, put it through the loop in the martingale. Next, you're going to want to grab your bridle. Now there's a lot of different types of bridles, but for Fluffy, since she's a saddle seat horse, she'll need this. And Fluffy is kind of pushy with her head sometimes, and she's afraid of one corner. So what we have on here is we have a cavesson, and inside the cavesson are little spikes so that she responds to you better. It doesn't necessarily hurt them, but it just kind of gives them a wake-up call like, hey, I'm supposed to be stopping right now. And also, Fluffy has this on here. When you feel these spikes, they're not really that sharp. It's not going to draw blood, but what it does is you put it on the bit like this, and what it does is it helps her head turn, because what she'd do is she'd turn her head, but then the rest of her body wouldn't follow. So this basically pushes her head one way and pushes the rest of her body the other way. You're also going to use the other. So you're going to unhook on each side, take off your halter, and just kind of let it hang there for a minute. First, you're going to want to put on your cavesson. So it's going to go around their ears like this. So it's going to fit about right here on their nose. Next, you're going to want to start bridling. Now this here is the bit. So you're going to want to push this off to the side. You're going to want to pull up here. You're going to want it on. So eventually you're going to want to, like that. And you're going to want to pull it up, around, and over her ears, like this. Now there's going to be a lot of loose straps. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to do the cavesson first. So you're going to take the two here on the cavesson, and you're going to want to buckle it as tight as it can go, but you don't want it to be as tight that it's always pushing on her. You want to put it through this extra loop so that it doesn't come undone. And you're going to want to do the same thing on this side. It hooks to the bridle and basically holds this on. So for this one, you want it to be a little bit looser, to the point where you could probably fit your hand in between the bridle and her head. And you want to put it through the holes again so that it doesn't come off. Next, what you're going to want to do once you have your bridle is set now, next you're going to want to make sure that everything looks the same and that nothing is out of the ordinary. You're going to want to pull her forelock out and kind of off to the side so that it doesn't get in her eyes when you're riding. So you want to take the small rein, and you're going to want to take it, put it through the loop, and then put it through the loop again. Pull it, and there's going to be a little loop right here, and you're going to want to push it onto the little silver right here. And this will hold your reins on when you do it. And then the big rein is always going to be on the top. So you're going to do the exact same thing. and pull it through and push it. Now you're going to want to go on the other side, and you're going to want to do the same thing, because obviously you can't just steer your horse with one hand. That's why there's Western and not saddle seat. So pull it through, push it, and then put it through the hole, put it in like this, pull it, and push it, and you have your saddled and groomed horse. Now if you want a horse ever, you're going to need to learn and practice this. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of memorization, but it's pretty easy once you get started with it, and hope you've learned a lot. Thank you.